Goodness. All right. University of Wyoming sorority sisters say they live in fear of transformer. Yeah. So these cute ladies, they're forced to. Oh, is this an interview? Here, let's listen. Let's listen in really quick. Oh, they're on with Megyn Kelly. Of course you would have them on. All right.
All of the bathrooms are shared spaces. There are about 3, 4 if you count the guest bathroom. And they are shared spaces. There are no private changing areas for when you shower. There are no locks on the showers. And it's very open and vulnerable.
Oh my goodness. And this person's moving into the sorority house next year?
What's interesting about that, Megan, is that there has been an exemption granted for him, for his safety, but not for these young women.
Interesting. Yeah, so this is the Transformer. After a Transformer student, Artemis Langford, joined their chapter in September 22 and will be allowed to move into their house next year. Fucking hell. Most of them are stuck up. Yeah, I know, right? You're absolutely right, Mike. You're absolutely right. Oh my God, it froze again. God damn it. All right, let me refresh this shit. All right. Well, we saw the good chunk of that story. Let's go ahead and
bathrooms
read
are
some of
shared
this.
spaces. There are about 3, 4.
See, is there more of that interview? No, we're not going to read all that shit. All right. So a group of University of Wyoming sorority sisters who were suing their sorority for accepting a transformer into their group have broken cover to describe how they live in constant fear in our home. After the hulking student has become physically aroused around them. So again, they invite this transformer, the sorority chapter, they invite this transformer to live with these cute girls. And it's M to F. And this individual is getting a boner around these chicks. Bruh, it real creepy. Dude, where's the picture? Hold on, we got a picture of this full. Yeah, look at this. Here's the sorority sisters. What the fuck is going on? Dude, these are some cuties, like, for real. And he just hit the jackpot. This I was about to say a no word. This individual, this magical this rainbow person is able to cheat the system. He found a glitch in the system and he's exploiting it for his own personal gain. And of course, the women are all drinking for the audio only listeners, and they're very cute in this black dress. And then, of course, the Transformer is wearing a beanie and is incredibly obese. And he's got like one giant chin under his regular chin. And it looks like he's like, she's rubbing their hands, and, you know, because it's like an evil mastermind. So yeah, this is fucked. Yeah, so here's a better look at this stunning and brave individual who is popping boners, hanging out with these chicks. And again, it's like, why would this happen? Most of these women who hate Troons voted for rainbow rights, so they get the byproduct of said legislation. Yeah, that's absolutely true, Mike. It's hard to be sympathetic, you know, when that's a reality. But, you know, we're going to have kids one day. If you have a daughter, God forbid, you don't want them to go through some shit like this, you know? Like, eventually, you know, people got to, you know, put their foot down. Let's see. Langford referred to under the male pseudonym Terry Smith in the suit, has been living outside the sorority house and was expected to move in the coming year, according to Cowboy State Daily. However, the student, who is referred to as he and him in the suit, still often stays for meals and attends events with the women, their attorney told Megyn Kelly on her podcast Monday. It's a weird, gut-wrenching feeling that every time I leave my room, there's a possibility that I'll walk past him in the hall, one of the sorority sisters, Hannah, told Kelly. It's a weird feeling just to know that I could run into him anytime. He has full access to the house, but this just goes to show, like, we need women's spaces for that reason, she continued. Like, our house is our home, just like anyone else's home. Like, you go home at the end of the day to feel comfortable and relax in your own skin, and you can't do that knowing that this individual has full access to your house. So, like they mentioned in that clip, you know, if they're, like, taking a fat dump, you know, this dude can just like walk in there. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna get showered. Yeah, don't mind me. I'm one of you, her sister. And look at how fucking evil. I know the rubbing of the hands, the moon. Yeah. Oh god, dude, this story is so fucking unreal, man. This should be like international news. And all these other like countries will be like, yeah, we're not gonna import this shit ever. Like, this is just a bridge too far. Let's see. Another student said the situation is particularly distressing because some of her sisters have been sexually assaulted or sexually harassed and want to feel safe inside the home. Yeah, it's a very reasonable ask. So some girls live in constant fear in their home, and our home is supposed to be a safe space, said the young woman who, like other students, was not identified by name. It is seriously an only female space. It is so different than living in the dorms, for instance, where men and women can commingle on the floors. That is not the case in the sorority house. We share just a couple of main bathrooms on the upstairs floor, she said. Yeah. SA is just regret for these girls. Oh, bro, I disavow that. I can't go there, man. The lawsuit alleges that Langford stared at the women without talking for hours. One sorority member walked down the hall to take a shower wearing only a towel. She felt an unsettling presence, turned and saw Mr. Shaw watching her silently, the lawsuit alleges. In another disturbing incident, the lawsuit alleges Langford has even been physically aroused. Mr. Smith has, while watching members enter the sorority house, had an erection visible through his leggings. They misgendered him. I didn't do that. Please don't ban me. The suit says other times he has had a pillow in his lap. Dude, that's how you know this fool never got bitches in high school, never got attention from the ladies. And so this is a new experience for him. I mean, just imagine never getting to be close to chicks like this, never being invited to a party with chicks like this. And so this is a new experience. And, you know, they can't control their boner. They can't control what they're feeling inside when they see these cute sorority hoochies bending over with their high heels and their little dresses and shit. But, you know, as Mike Floyd in the comment section stated, they kind of voted for this. You know, they kind of supported this. You know, they're probably going to be putting up rainbow emojis in their fucking Instagram bios and their Tinder profiles, you know, to be like in solidarity and like equality and harmony with these people. The individual still comes to the house, still engages in dinner, still sits in the chair and watches the girls, the attorney said. All right, legal talk. I know, right? You're right, Cultivus Maximus. But, you know, when you're broadcasting, you know, there's some rules. There's some rules, and I'm not trying to break them. It was an accident. Wink, wink. Like in the workplace, unwanted staring is technically harassment. And there are real world consequences to engaging in that kind of harassment in the workplace, like getting fired immediately. If I was at a university and I'm like in my history class and I get aroused looking at one of the girls or whatever, I can get kicked out. I can get in a lot of trouble. The fact that this hasn't happened to this person yet because of their rainbow status says a lot about how fucked society is and how horrible these institutions, these educational institutions are. They're just not equipped to deal with this. They obviously fear the backlash for holding Langford accountable for his perverted actions. That's what's happening here. And, you know, like I get, it's like, yeah, you know, the women suck. You know, they probably supported, you know, the rainbow shit. And, you know, nobody cares about women's sports. I get all that. But, again, like when you have friends who got little girls and they're in sports, and it might be a reality that they get harmed or they're in a situation where they're, you know, like a man is watching them change and stuff. It's like, do you really want that to happen? Again, like I don't like Matt Walsh too much, but he's not entirely wrong on this topic, on this whole fiasco. I don't disagree with him. And he's got a lot of little kids too. So, you know, I don't blame him, even though he's kind of a dick sometimes and he's got other problems. What if a woman's nips get hard? That essay to me, I wouldn't say it's essay. But if you're at work and there's a woman and she gets hard nips, and it makes you feel uncomfortable, I mean, you can bring it to HR. And if the company doesn't act on your legitimate grievances, you can probably sue them. for some kind of like emotional distress or failing to protect you, because by law, these companies need to protect employees from harassment. But yeah, women's nips getting hard. No, it's not really an issue unless you make it one. I mean, that's just usually how human resources works at any of these private companies, or even like working for the government or whatever. They have some pretty strict rules about harassment. When I worked for the government, we had to do like this bullshit orientation. We had to go through, like what's permitted and what's not, what counts as harassment, what doesn't, yada yada yada. And basically the best advice: don't have any personal relationships with any of the people that you work with. Keep it strictly professional. Talk about the weather. Clock out, go home, and then you get online, you get on the Discord, and you talk all the shit. You get it out of your system, but you don't do that shit at work. Because if somebody wants to make a stink about it, they will. Again, this behavior that has been observed by these young ladies, and again, they probably have like 8 or 20 witnesses, and he's just able to get away with it. This would just not fly in the majority of universities. Again, if it wasn't for the rainbow status, if this wasn't one of the protected members of society, one of the beautiful people of society, they would have been out a long time ago, in my opinion. Can't control your hard D either, though. Yeah, this guy can't even control it, man. Can't even control it. Yeah, but the rubbing. God, I'll never get over it. Yeah, I just had to do this. I had to talk about this story. I'm following it. I'm really curious to see where it goes. Again, I hope the Transformers take a fucking L on this one, and I hope the cuties prevail, even though I don't necessarily agree with their political views. I don't even know that. I'm just assuming that their opinions suck. But yeah, kudos to Megyn Kelly for hosting them and taking care of them and whatnot.